What is up, you guys? It is episode 41 of the Sci-Fly Zone, and today's destination is going to be taking us back to the DC universe, as we are going to be reviewing Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 6, probably the biggest episode of the entire season so far. And also, if you guys can't tell, I'm currently in a different setup. Yep, just due to external circumstances, I have to record in a different spot, but we're making it work. So anyway, this is the biggest episode that we have had to review so far in terms of like what has happened, what has been established, so much crazy stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. As we've mentioned a couple times in the previous episodes that we've done reviewing the show, these last three episodes, 6, 7, and 8, have not been viewed early by any of the pressers, any of the big content creators. It's all, everybody is learning about this at the same time now. We were learning about it at the same time, but like nobody knows what's going to happen right now except for like James Gunn and the people in the show. So it's really exciting stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm super excited to cover it. So this episode opens with Peacemaker, Amelia, and his family in the alternate universe eating a meal after they destroyed the kaiju that they fought in last episode. And this restaurant looks like the inside of a Cracker Barrel, dude.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's a pretty good comparison. Some kids come up to the table to like ask them for a picture, and Augie, their dad, takes a picture with them, and there's this weird thing where everybody's face starts to melt off of their head. Like I kind of interpreted that as like the facade of this dimension is starting to slip away a little bit, and like the closer we look at this dimension, the weirder things get. As you mentioned, the inside of the restaurant and the demographic in particular. This was not a flashback in the opening here, but a very interesting way to start the episode.
Yeah, probably the first episode, I think, since episode 1 to not open with a flashback. So very interesting choice. You know, like we're done setting up all the context that we need right now. You know, we're trying to move forward at this point.
Yeah. I imagine it's probably going to be like that going forward. There might be I would be surprised
there might be one more flashback.
Yeah, I would be surprised if we don't get a flashback to what happened between Chris and Amelia on the boat. Because
that's a good point.
They've referenced that several times, but they haven't actually said what happened. We just know that like it mattered a lot to Chris, and Amelia was like they were drinking, but we don't really know what else happened from there. But we kind of have all the context that we need right now, as you said, to go forward with the show.
Yeah, and the title of this episode, Ignorance is Chris. I mean, that's probably the most straightforward title we have gotten so far for these episodes yet, because Chris has been insanely ignorant about anything unrelated to him in this alternate universe because he's so self-absorbed and obsessed with the attention and admiration from the community and his family and his love interest, which, to be fair, if you had none of that going for you in your real universe and you had the opportunity to go to another universe and you have all of this love and admiration going for you, you know, I don't blame him.
Yeah, it's he doesn't want to like take a second to look around like closely at what's going on because he's getting all this love and admiration. So he just wants to believe that, oh yeah, this is the best it can get. He said several times, like, this is the best dimension ever. So we'll see later on that maybe he probably should have started taking a closer look.
Yeah, the details, in fact, were right in front of him at times.
Yeah.
But anyway, after the title, we cut to the 11th Street kids outside of Adrian's house because they're going to open the quantum unfolding chamber inside of his mom's house. So crazy.
Yeah, their logic for it was that Argus wouldn't be able to find it at their house. So I guess it works out. He's got his own secret room that he doesn't let his mom or anybody in. So that's where they're going to set it up. His mom is super sweet, by the way. She's great. And he is an asshole to her. Adrian was treating her very poorly, and everybody hated it. Like people online were did not like it. They were very disappointed with Adrian. And I think that shows how much people love him as a character, because we don't want to see him being an asshole. Like the killing, we can forgive that. That's fine, but don't be rude to your mom.
Yeah. We have lines as humans.
Yeah.
Don't be mean to your mom. Don't kill the dog, and we're fine.
Yeah.
And also, I think a reason why he treats his mom this way is because probably his entire life he's been so attached to her and so dependent on her. So now when he actually has a sense of independence, his mom like entirely takes that away from him whenever she's around him, because all she wants to do is, you know, give him stuff, you know, be
Hmm.
there for him, be a mom to him.
Yeah,
But he doesn't want to seem like, you know, he needs mommy's affection and mommy's love around his friends who are currently dealing with multiversal threats and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah. She even like joined his D&D group because he didn't
Dude,
have enough
level
people.
40.
I didn't know it went that high.
That's so funny. Yeah, no, I don't know much about D&D. Like all of my knowledge from D&D comes from Stranger Things.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. But she tells Economos that he's not as dorky as Adrian describes. She calls Amelia Harcourt hardcore,
Yeah.
which I guess is a common mistake that people make for her character. I didn't know that. You know, I thought we had legibility in this country. I guess not. But Adrian also, I guess, told his mom that him and Amelia were boyfriend and girlfriend at some point, and that they broke up because she was doing some slutty things. Adrian,
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
this
What
is
kind of
so out of character for him.
I
It,
get that he has to make some stuff up for the when he's doing his superhero stuff to leave the house, but you don't have, like, don't throw her under the bus.
and he said he has to base it in some truth.
Yeah, that was crazy. He doubled down on it.
Golly. But we get inside Adrian's HQ and we just see millions of dollars of drugs and literal dollars
Yeah.
from his other missions. And not to mention, Adrian has not missed a single shoulder day. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Talk
man.
about a sleeper build.
Yeah, where's that been all season?
Yeah, like respectfully, we need more tank top Adrian.
Yeah.
Like it's given some like Rambo energy.
I like your cut, G.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Anyway, but he doesn't want to spend all the money because it's blood money. And it's funny because he still works at a restaurant as a busboy and he still asks people for money because he's broke, but he has all of this cash. You know, it's like, bro,
Yeah.
just wash it in some baking soda and just like go very slowly with how you spend it. You don't need to, come on.
Wow, you know a lot about how to handle blood money, don't you? That's interesting.
I watched Ozark. Okay,
Oh,
for
okay.
those who've watched Ozark, literally that is the money laundering TV show. So
Not personal experience.
no, yeah, I love Ozark. Anyway, we finally see Adrian suit up, which thank God
Yeah, man.
took over half the season to get him in his suit. Thank God. And Leota is setting up the quantum suitcase, and it's crazy how, you know, just based off of watching Chris doing it one time, she was able to do it successfully.
Yeah, she figured it out pretty quickly, honestly. That was like kind of one of the only things that I really questioned in the show, like how they handle the suitcase and like how quickly they figure it out. But I mean, that's a very minor thing, like for the overall show.
Yeah. Leota sets up the quantum unfolding chamber successfully, and all of the drugs go flying into the quantum unfolding chamber because, you know, it has to open a Terran reality black hole since it sucks stuff in. And then once the quantum unfolding chamber is successfully open, it sends all the drugs flying back onto everyone, and everyone is just covered in cocaine.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody's got all the evidence all over them, and they walk around for the next 5 to 10 minutes in the quantum unfolding chamber with towels trying to wipe off the cocaine from their shoulders.
Yeah, and that actually ends up being a major factor in the plot later.
Yeah, that does play a big role going forward.
Yeah, so they walk through, and Adrian still just wants to do animal facts, and nobody is in the mood, including us at this point. Love you, Adrian,
Yeah.
but I'm done. And the one fact he brought up, he got it wrong again. Like you've been saying.
Yep. Yeah, he said like alligators have 4 stomachs, but Economos corrects him very quickly that it's cows.
Yeah.
Like he so desperately wants to share the things that he knows, but the things that he knows are wrong. He doesn't know the things that he thinks he knows.
And the timing for it, like, come on, Adrian.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we also see Glebe again. Let's go. Shout out
Yep.
Glebe.
Yep. Hell yeah.
He's doing
Leota.
the same stuff, dude. Why
I
is he
know.
always throwing away animal
He's
carcasses?
got another rodent and he's just incinerating it again. I guess that's what he does on a daily basis. And Leota tries to go over and like say hi to him because she's a sweetheart. And Economos is like, dude, don't do that. You don't know if that means that you want their favorite son to die, is what he said.
Yeah, his social anxiety really went to the worst possible outcome there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like he's on edge. He's in a different realm right now.
He
He
didn't
doesn't
even
really
want to
want
go
to.
in the first place.
Yeah, the most of what he's been doing for the last several episodes have been peer pressure and
Yeah,
like against his
yeah,
own will. Pretty much,
yeah.
that's what he's been saying.
Literally. Yeah. So anyway, we cut back to Rick Flag Sr., and he's just pissed at the whole outcome of everything because none of his plans are working at all. And Agent Flurry comes in to let him know that on top of all that, now Amelia and Economos are both MIA. And also, Judo Master is MIA. Which, where is he? We didn't see him the whole episode.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that. I thought he was going to be, because he followed Chris very shortly after he went in. They
Told
shouldn't
us
have
he
been too
did.
far apart. Yeah, yeah, he left the evidence and the Cheeto dust, but nothing came from it. I don't. Well, we'll be getting more of him in the future, I'm sure. But
Yeah, I know. I totally agree. And if he were to go through, I feel like he would still immediately try to detain him, but it seems like he didn't even make it to Peacemaker at all. Like Peacemaker never even he never even clicked on his radar that Judo Master was after him, even now.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I think maybe he got lost along the way, or he was still trying to be super secretive and then he got lost along the way. I have a theory, which I'll say at the end of the episode after we break everything down.
Mm.
But
Cool.
yeah. Anyway, Rick Flag realizes that he needs help with the situation. So he tells his secretary, hey, call Bell Reef Prison Warden. I want to see a prisoner. And we later find out that that is Lex Luthor.
Yeah, man.
Nicholas Hoult makes a cameo as Lex Luthor after being imprisoned by Superman at the end of the Superman movie and is currently on a cane after being thrown around and hurt by Crypto. So cool.
Yeah, this was awesome. I was not expecting. I mean, like we've theorized about some of the people that could be having some cameos in this show. I had maybe once mentioned Lex Luthor's name, but I didn't actually think that we were going to get him. But this was super cool. He was one of, if not my favorite character from Superman. I think Nicholas Hoult is great as Lex Luthor. He's been doing an incredible job.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
We're going to be getting some great Lex Luthor stuff in the future. Maybe not with we'll see what happens with Peacemaker, if he comes back, or if this was just like a one-time cameo for the show. But it's there's going to be a lot of Lex Luthor in the future of the DCU.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. It's really nice to see that James Gunn is slowly but surely setting up Man of Tomorrow as well.
Yeah, pretty cool. And I would love some Lex Luthor Peacemaker interactions. I think that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. We might, because they're being plotted against each other, and we'll break down the dialogue of this of the interaction between Rick Flag and Lex Luthor once we get to that scene in the breakdown. But after Rick Flag tells his secretary that he's calling the warden, we cut to the 11th Street kids back in the quantum unfolding chamber, and they find the other Peacemaker helmets and the door to the other universe. They actually find it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Crazy. And Adrian obviously knows the code, so that's helpful.
Yeah. Amelia asks Economos if he can hack it, and Adrian just blurts out the code because he knows it by heart. Because he's Chris's best friend, they go there all the time. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, so they find out that Peacemaker was not lying about this stuff, and that it was not a figment of his imagination like they thought it was. And Adrian immediately wants to take advantage of this situation by finding another version of himself in the other universe to question him, be like, hey, where's Peacemaker? But he just wants to ask him questions. Yeah,
he just wants to hang out with himself. He's immediately, once they get in there, he's off track and trying to find the other vigilante.
Yeah. So they're in Peacemaker's room, and his brother Keith walks in after hearing Amelia talking, and she hides Economos in the bathroom, and Leota and Adrian hide in the closet, and Amelia just has to freestyle this whole entire conversation, and it does not go well, because Amelia 2 is supposed to be with Peacemaker currently going to Argus, but instead, seemingly, Amelia is here and wearing a different and more unusual outfit than what Amelia 2 would normally wear, which Keith also points out in her wearing black and pants, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that was, I guess this dimension's Amelia is always wearing a dress or a skirt or
yeah,
like or something like that. But yeah,
something a bit more traditional.
Yeah. This scene apparently well, this scene went on longer than we actually saw, because in the outtakes we see that this scene does go on longer. Amelia has to like make an excuse for why she got dropped off, and she like just turns around and finds a snow globe. So she picks it up and she's like, "Oh yeah, Chris asked me to get this for some reason," and Keith is like, "Oh, our grandma gave that to him when he was 2." And Amelia in the outtakes is like, "Oh yeah, we talk to her all the time." And Keith's like, she died when he was 2 years old." And she basically tells him that ghosts are real and that they've been talking to her spirit while she's
she's just digging such a deep grave for herself right now.
Yeah. She has to yes and everything that's going on, but it just keeps getting worse and worse.
Yeah, like less is more at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Seriously, maybe it would go better if you just stopped talking, just like plead the fifth and
literally. Like she literally could have just said, "Yeah, Chris dropped me off because I needed to use the bathroom," which she literally said she took a big crap earlier, which is why she hit Economos in there and slammed the door, because she told Keith like, "Oh, that I slammed the door because it smells really bad in there." So I don't know why she just didn't run with the bathroom story, just like, "Oh, I need to go to the bathroom really quick." He's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. I don't know, man. She doesn't know what to do.
No, but Keith offers her a ride back to Argus, and Leota's like, no, do not do it, no. And she's like, "Yeah, sure, why not? Let's go on a car ride, sure." And she's probably trying to find Peacemaker, obviously thinking he'll be at Argus. So I get it. Obviously, Leota isn't as ballsy as Amelia, so that's why she doesn't want to do it. But they leave, Amelia and Keith, and Economos comes out of the bathroom and just immediately starts gagging and wanting to throw up, because he finds the situation so weird that it grosses him out this much. And his facial expressions and his delivery of his lines, dude, it was just so funny.
It was great. Yeah, he's dry heaving this whole scene. It's after Leota tells him that it's Chris's dead brother Keith who is alive in this dimension. That's what weirds him out so much, and he reacts as if he's seeing like a corpse, but he's alive. So Leota's like, "Dude, this is such a weird reaction. What are you doing right now?" And Adrian's like, "Yeah, I thought it was pretty neat to meet a dead person." And Leota's like, "Well, that's really weird too. Neither of you guys are normal people. This is not. I'm the only one that's actually thinking straight here."
That usually does seem to be the case.
Yeah.
Leota does seem to be the most sane out of all of them.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. I didn't know that this Leota character is an original for the show. She doesn't come from the comics at all. It was
that's cool.
Original James Gunn wrote the character for the show, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
she's been
one
of my
cool
favorite
character.
Yeah, she's been one of my favorite characters all season.
Cool note there. So Adrian is bickering with Leota because he just wants to meet another version of himself to question him about Peacemaker, but he just wants to still just talk to him about himself, obviously.
Yeah.
And during all this, we cut to Peacemaker and Amelia 2 in bed together, and everything just looks like heaven for him right now. He has no idea what he is living in right now.
Yeah.
He's living in a dream, but this is not a dream.
No, not at all.
Far from that. And at the same time, Amelia 1 heading over to Argus with Keith in the car, and immediately in her head is like, where are the people of color? Why is it only white people? And at the same time, Keith is talking to her about this universe's version of like the best rock music, and a band called Helloween is one of the best bands of all time, along with the Mick Jagger led Beatles.
Yeah. What? That was a crazy reveal. Mick Jagger's and the Beatles here. I guess John Lennon's off doing his own thing. He was the one, not Ringo. He's not the one that got out of the group. It was John Lennon. Sorry, Ringo, you're cool too. But yeah, Mick Jagger, lead of the Beatles. And I had never heard of Halloween, but they are a real band. They've been around since like the 80s and 90s. And they actually came out with an album this year called Giants and Monsters, which is pretty similar to what James Gunn is calling this new era, Gods and Monsters.
Yeah.
You know, so I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Maybe not a connection there, but it was kind of cool to hear, to find out.
No, I mean, that is kind of a cool parallel.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we also cut to Amelia, too, and Chris, and she's in the shower, and he's shaving, and he's looking in the mirror, and he's like, am I real? Is this real? What's going on? And like the music kind of falls out of tune and slows down a little bit and distorts and warps.
Yeah,
it gives off a really eerie feeling, but then it immediately cuts back to him just on his bike, and he's just looking all fine and chill. Like, he's just brushing it off. Ignorance is Chris.
100%. Yeah, and Chris is ignorant.
Yes, and I don't I think he's subconsciously ignorant. I don't think he's intentionally trying to be like, nah, I don't want to. Nah, that's not true. Nah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But once presented with evidence, he's surely to flip the script.
Yeah. Once someone finally points things out to him.
Yeah, exactly. So Keith and Amelia, they get to Argus, and their drug detector dog detects the coke that was on Amelia's jacket from when it blew back on her when they were opening the quantum unfolding chamber. So she gets detained. She's pissed about it. And Peacemaker gets there just in time to see her get into the interrogation room. And at the same time, we cut to Adrian, and he finds his other universe's version of his house, and he is having just the best time ever noticing all the different things about his house. Like, one thing is a squirrel instead of a chipmunk. The Cheerio box is spelled Cheerios, which that was really funny. And he's like, I'm keeping this shit.
He's taking a souvenir back to his dimension.
Yeah. And his dad isn't gay in this universe either, which, granted, he might be closeted still. Let's not rule that out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And we will.
Because he did not look happy.
Yeah, no, there was a quick shot of him. He looked pretty miserable.
Yeah, I mean, his mom looked fine. She was knitting, doing her thing, but yeah. And the best part of all of this is all of his locks work when he gets in, and he sees other Adrian, and personality wise, he seems so different. Initially, he's like, who are you? What are you doing here? But then once Adrian reveals it's him from the other universe, dude, his reaction could not have been any better. It was perfect. So good.
It was perfect. It was very Adrian. At first I did think that it was going to be a different, I thought he was going to have like a very different personality. I know, like in the comics, he has a different personality than he does on the show. So people were thinking maybe that's what it was going to be, but no, he is he is very similar to Adrian, and they have a great time together.
Yeah, they even Spider-Man memed.
Yeah, they acknowledged it too. They referenced it. They said it. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, we cut back to Leota and Economos, and they find Eagly tearing up the fridge. So they got to clean it up. And I love that we finally got to see Eagly in this episode, just doing his same old shenanigans, just trying to eat some food.
Yep. Glad we got Eagly again. Doesn't matter what dimension he's in, he is going to eat Chris's food no matter what.
Yep. And at the same time, we actually cut back to Rick Flag because he arrives at Belle Reve to ask Lex Luthor for help to find Peacemaker, because his attempts have not worked whatsoever, and Lex Luthor has access to technology to locate the quantum unfolding chamber so that Rick Flag, in return, can send Lex Luthor to a better prison with no metahumans, and also, his words, not mine, an opportunity for redemption, which definitely sets up the Man of Tomorrow movie.
Yeah, 100%. This was awesome. Love seeing Lex in the show. He knows Rick needs his help, and so he originally asked for like his freedom. He wants to get out of prison, and Rick says, "Absolutely not. There's no shot that's gonna happen," because apparently Lex's sentence is 265 years. So that is quite a while.
Maybe he can get out on good behavior.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. Maybe they could drop that down to like 180 years. Maybe they can bargain with him. But the reveal for Lex was shot really well. I feel like there, Rick was sitting in one of those like rooms where you got the glass between the two of you, and there you have like a telephone that you talk through, and we see somebody walking in an orange jumpsuit through the window. You can't see their face or anything. You can't even see if they have hair or anything. But when he sits down and we see that it's him, it was a really awesome reveal. And he was playing kind of a colder version of Lex here, it seemed like, than in Superman. He was a little less goofy, although he mentions that being goofy is not a crime. I'm referring to Peacemaker, which was a great line. But yeah, this is awesome, man.
Yeah, dude. And I didn't realize how tall Nicholas Holt was. Like, I was joking when we were watching the episode together because we were like theorizing who that was walking through the hall. It's like, it could be Slender Man.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. He was, yeah, he's a tall dude. I guess standing next to Superman, he doesn't seem like it, but yeah, he's a big guy.
No wonder, because like imagine like the average person sees him, like me in that universe and thinks like, oh, that's a tall guy with like an intimidating presence kind of. And then Superman comes along and just throws all that away.
Yeah,
seriously. Yeah, I mean, Lex Luthor literally said he's not a man, he's an it.
Yeah. He's terrified of him.
Yeah. So we finally cut back to Peacemaker, and he gets to talk to Amelia because she's still holding in the interrogation room because they found the cocaine on her, but she didn't actually like have any like in a bag or anything like that, and she didn't have any in her system. So they gave her the benefit of the doubt, I'm sure, because they technically know her. They know the other universe's version of her, but they think it's the actual her. So they give her the benefit of the doubt, I'm assuming, and also with help of Peacemaker and Keith, kind of being like, hey, come on.
yeah. She's kind of like writing off the reputation that the other dimensions Amelia has like kind of built for her, which is basically how she gets out of this situation.
Yes. And finally, Peacemaker confronts Amelia about their whatever's going on between them, like romantically, because she literally cannot escape talking about it anymore. He literally brings a chair over. He's like, we need to talk about the boat. What did it mean to you? And she's like, ugh, the boat. Why do you always care about the boat? He's like, because you won't freaking talk about it. Like, you keep trying to talk about it, and you keep dancing around it, running around it, and you always like put something else in focus instead of just that question. And then we finally get to see Amelia break and just be vulnerable, be like, I'm a mess. I don't have access to my feelings like you do. And crazy enough, Peacemaker literally could care less about all of that. He's like, yo, I still love you. Like, I don't care. But then, like, in the same beat, tells her I can't leave because I like this universe and I kind of like the other you. Like, bro.
Yeah, that was they're both in such a tough situation right now. Like, Chris is at the point where regardless of what decision he makes, regardless of what dimension he stays in, he is leaving people behind because he is so like drawn to this dimension that has his brother and his dad now, that if he goes back with the 11th Street kids into his real dimension, then he feels like he's taking that relationship away. Not to mention they wouldn't have a Chris anymore because, as we remember, he killed the other Peacekeeper, as we called him, back in episode 1.
Yeah.
So like, he's, regardless of what he does, he's going to be losing people,
Yeah.
And I thought this was a great scene for Amelia too, because we, like you said, we do see her get like really emotional, and she doesn't have a choice to, like, she can't ignore it anymore because Chris is forcing her to acknowledge it.
And she's also being literally legally held in that room by the government.
Yeah, seriously.
So
what are you gonna do? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you might as well talk. But like, she calls herself a nightmare. She is so hard on herself, and she can't like love herself right now.
Yeah.
So when other people are showing love to her, she can't accept it because she doesn't feel like she deserves it in a way,
Yeah, and like, she lies to herself about the truth about herself. And like an example of that is like earlier in the season, she was denying Chris's theory that she gets into bar fights just to feel something. And then in this room, in this scene, she reveals it. That is true.
Yeah, yeah. She basically says, "Yeah, you were right. You were right about me. That's exactly what I do." And she also says, like, "I don't have access to my feelings in the way that you do,"
Yeah.
which in a way is her accessing her feelings. She's like
Yeah.
acknowledging that she is struggling with this and hasn't been able to really feel the feelings that she wants and should be able to feel. You know, like
Yeah. And Chris, he needs a lot of attention and affection and reassurance. And Amelia is not the type of person to give any of that whatsoever. Like, I think the furthest, she'll go is like she'll sit down and talk with you and maybe like give you a hug if you need it. But
yeah,
that's just not her spiel. She's like she said earlier, I think it was episode 1 or 2, she said like she's been trained her whole life to do one thing, and that's be a killer for the government. So
mm,
it's really hard for her to have this and be this with Chris. Also, not to mention the whole Rick Flag thing, like just not even mentioning that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
totally. The way that Jennifer Holland played this scene was like very impressive because she was obviously you could feel the emotions that Amelia was feeling in this moment, and she was like yelling at points, and like she was breaking down, and you could see the tears in her eyes. But I don't think I ever saw a tear leave her eye. Like I think they just stayed in there, like, but you could see them visually. But she never let one shed, which
mhm.
is kind of what she's been doing for a lot of this season. You know,
Yeah, she's
she's
had to
been
hold it together.
yeah, yeah. Which while it's impressive, you don't she shouldn't have to do that. You know, if you feel like you're gonna cry, you should probably cry. It feels good sometimes.
Yeah, it does. But when you're a trained killer, in a lot of other type of media that has trained killers and that dive into kind of like their psychology, being vulnerable is dangerous. Being
Hmm.
vulnerable will get you killed. So
Yeah,
she's probably held that mindset and probably was given that mindset by the people who trained her.
yeah, yeah, totally. The environment that she's developed in has told her that like you can't do that. You can't show your emotions because it's bad and it's weak. You know.
Yeah. So basically, at the end of the scene, we come to the conclusion that Peacemaker, he wants to stay. As hard of a decision as it is, he's picking his brother, he's picking his dad, he's picking Amelia too, and he's also picking the love and admiration of the community, which are all things that he has been wanting more than anything else. But usually something happens when you get everything you want handed to you. There's
Yeah.
usually a catch. And
Yes.
Chris has not opened his glove yet.
Yeah. He is
And
not
at the
ready.
same time, we cut to Adrian talking to Adrian too. And they're just asking each other things like, do you like this? Do you like that? Do you agree about this? Do you agree about that? And everything is beat for beat. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Love it. I also disagree. It's perfect until we get to Peacemaker. Are you BFFs with Peacemaker? No, Peacemaker is the worst person I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah. Totally.
Literally, Adrian too said he joined the Sons of Liberty just to take down Peacemaker.
Yeah.
If you guys remember the Sons of Liberty, they were framed to be like a terrorist militia group, taking down government agencies. But it turns out that they really are some sort of rebellion against some sort of oppression.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a big reveal. I was not expecting Adrian too to be a part of the Sons of Liberty. I honestly thought that I wasn't really expecting to see much of the Sons of Liberty for the rest of the show. I kind of thought that episode was like just a little like bit of a filler or something to show Chris like being a superhero in this dimension.
Yeah, villain of the week type stuff.
Yeah, yeah, totally, 100%. But I mean, it seems like they're gonna play a role in the overall plot, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I just, I really wonder what Adrian was doing during that other raid because it wasn't far from where he was,
Yeah,
seemingly.
yeah, yeah. Like everybody except for him was at that DMV. They were all part of it, but he stayed back. I don't know he plays like a big, if he's like calling the shots and
You know
sending
what?
people out.
I wonder if maybe like they had intel that like the top trio like wasn't gonna know about it or something like that. Because remember, Peacemaker showed up unannounced. Like they did not think he was gonna
Oh,
show up whatsoever because it was the other universe's version of Peacemaker who just happened to be there by chance, and there's no way they could have predicted that.
yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know.
I do like that the show is leaving us with a lot of questions, and we are getting answers to most of them as the show goes on. But obviously, this reveal that Adrian does not like this version of Peacemaker is very telling, because at the same time, we also see Leota asking Economos, "Hey, do you want to go for a walk?" Economos is like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay back. I don't even want to think about what's out there in this universe." Which Economos, he's got the right idea.
Yeah, he's onto something.
Yeah, and so Leota's like, "All right, well, you do you. I'm gonna do me. I'm just gonna do a walk around the block." And we see Leota walking out, and it looks like the most suburban neighborhood you've ever seen. And we see a white woman driving by, and Leota just waves at her, being friendly. And it looks like this woman saw her family being held at gunpoint. Like
Yeah,
she looked so freaked out by seeing Leota. And Leota's like, you know what? She's probably just racist. Whatever. It's fine. Because I'm sure that's not the first time a white person has given her a strange look.
yeah,
Just given the world. But so she just, passes it off, whatever, and she keeps walking. And then she turns around and she sees that same woman stopped, got out of her car, warned the nearest neighbor she could find, and was pointing at her saying, "That's her." And then we see Keith driving by, and then he slams on the brakes, and he gets out of the car, starts slamming on the horn saying, "One got out, a black."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
And then at the same time, Amelia says to Peacemaker back at Argus after she gets released from the interrogation room, she says, "I don't see any people of color. What's going on here?" And Peacemaker's like, "What? No way." And then Peacemaker finds the nearest flag on the desk, and we see the swastika. And this confirms that we are actually in Earth 10. And at the same time, the white mob is chasing down Leota, saying, "One got out. We need to get her back in." Wherever the heck they're talking about that is, because I am genuinely worried for Leota at this point. But holy crap, what a reveal. Earth 10.
Yeah, this was insane. Like, we've been speculating this, like, about, like, people have been speculating about this as the show has been going on. You mentioned on this podcast that it could probably be Earth X, but like the reveal of it was still like insane.
It was very well done.
It was very well done. Yeah, everybody was like, it kept cutting back and forth between everybody, like split up and getting into their own trouble. Like, I mean, man, this was crazy. This was pretty crazy. I mean,
yeah, man. Like, the universe where the Nazis in Germany won World War II.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this isn't the end of the episode, though. We do have one scene left, and this is probably the most impactful scene of the entire season, perhaps, because this is where everything falls apart. Economos is still inside Peacemaker 2's house, and Augie, Peacemaker's dad, comes home, coughing up a storm per usual. And Economos is like, "Oh crap, I gotta hide." And big man Economos hiding behind the kitchen island. That's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So eventually he gathers enough courage to try and crawl out of the kitchen, and Augie, without missing a beat, hits him in the head with a can of whatever and knocks him down. And then immediately Economos is like, "Wait, no, hands up, don't kill me, don't do anything, please." But Augie's like, "I ain't falling for that crap." And he stabs him in the hand, through the hand, into the ground to basically like pin him there. And immediately Economos spills all of the beans. He's like, "I'm Peacemaker's friend, but I'm not technically Peacemaker's friend because I'm from another dimension, and Peacemaker technically killed your son who's Peacemaker, and holy crap, I am saying way too much right now." And now it's over. Everything's done. it's done. The facade is done. The Blue Dragon, alternate Peacemaker's dad, knows that his son has actually died, and other Peacemaker's been playing him the whole time, and it's done. This lie cannot live on anymore. I mean, it was already ruined by the swastika, but now it's really done because now he has enemies.
Yeah, this Economos rats very quickly.
I don't think he didn't even mean to, because obviously
Yeah.
he caught himself.
Yeah.
That's just who he is. He's a nervous guy.
Yeah, he didn't realize what he was saying until after he had said it, But I mean, once you say it, there's no forgetting that now. Augie is absolutely going to be coming after Chris now.
Dude, and he's going to be tapped in. Like,
yeah.
You saw, as soon as he heard that, he was like,
yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, and it's believable for him too, because he has the door in his house. He knows about like the QUC, right? So he would it's within the realm of possibility for him.
The realm?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, dude. Not only are they in a Nazi dimension, but now they have Augie, the Blue Dragon, coming after him. I imagine he's going to go to Keith. Keith is not going to be happy about this either.
No.
Like,
they did not see this coming.
No, they did not. Yeah, man. Things are not going to go well. And everybody's like split up too.
Mm-hmm.
And Earth 10, Amelia, gets to Argus. And the security is like already on edge because they thought Amelia had already been in there because she was in like the room where they were checking her jacket for cocaine. And now the second Amelia comes in, and she's like
as if nothing has happened, as if it's just another Tuesday. She's like, "Hi guys, how you doing? Good to see you." And they're like, "Well, what? It's Harcourt. It's Harcourt. Hold on."
Yeah.
And then they storm in, and then they see other Amelia at the same time that Peacemaker is looking at the flag, seeing the swastika on it, and Amelia is like, "Arrest that woman. That is not me. I don't know who that woman is." And
yeah,
that's how the episode ends.
That's where it ends. It ends with a shot of Leota running down the street with a pack of whites chasing after her. Like, this was shot like a Jordan Peele movie, and they have to get out.
Yeah. Yeah, like it definitely kind of seemed like zombies were chasing her.
Yeah. I don't know how long she's gonna be able to keep her distance. I hope she does. Dude, that's how the episode ends. If anything happens to Leota, I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm gonna be pissed too. My theory is that Adrian's gonna come in just in time and save the day.
It could be Adrian. It could be Judo Master if he's not. If he didn't get taken away.
I feel like he got taken away.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like.
Yeah,
like because they said one got out, which gives off the assumption that there was some sort of containment center, holding center for people of color, and obviously effed up. And I would imagine that in order to be able to successfully hold that many people, and there are other superpowered individuals in this universe, I assume, to a degree, and some of them have to be people of color as well. So then they have to have very high, very powerful pieces of technology or very powerful people keeping these people held and contained, and justifiably so somehow, in a way too. Like, everyone is agreeing that this is a good thing for some reason. Obviously, the Nazis winning World War II and them spreading their propaganda, amongst the masses probably plays a big factor in that. But holy crap, like how did things get to this point in this universe? It's genuinely boggling.
Yeah, man. And for nobody, like, we've seen shots of like the regular people on the street, like when Chris is driving by, everybody seems super happy. Everybody's like fine. Nobody's questioning anything. It seems like they've grown up with this and it's been embedded in their mind that this is a normal thing and that it's justified for like childhood, I mean, like you mentioned the like the technology and the means that they must have to keep all these people contained. we haven't really seen like real like top high authority figures in this dimension yet. You know, we haven't really seen like the head of Argus. We haven't seen a Rick Flag Senior. We
Yeah,
haven't seen like really anybody of government. So
I doubt there's Amanda Waller, sadly.
yeah, yeah. So like, I imagine at some point we're gonna see probably who is like in charge of all this and who is
Hmm.
keeping all of this happening. You know?
Yeah, I heard a theory that Rick Flag Jr. in the alternate universe is a secret Son of Liberty. And that's why he was so
Ooh.
nervous when Peacemaker came around. And
Uh,
that's why he was wanting to know anything official going on, because he wanted to know about it so he could relay that info to the Sons of Liberty.
oh, that would be really interesting. That yeah, that
You
would
know,
be cool.
that's probably why they were doing that raid shortly after, because they wanted to know if he was going to be around so they
Oh,
could pull it off or not. But he
yeah.
never got the answer.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Dude,
point.
that could be there's a
That
lot, like that's a really good theory.
there could totally be some truth to that for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. I
I
didn't
would.
come up with it, by the way. I saw this on Instagram from other people. I'm just spreading the word, but it's an awesome theory.
It would be great. I would like that a lot. I want more Rick Flag Jr. in this series. He's been great. The small bits that we've had of him on screen, but yeah, if his plot is like if he's gonna be playing a role in the plot like that, I think that would be super cool.
Yeah, and he's too big of a he's too much of a meaningful character in the context of this show to just only have like these little appearances. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like his death and his relationships with Peacemaker and Amelia Harcourt are like some of the pillars of like what's driving the plot in this show.
yeah, yeah, 100%. It's like it's shaped a lot of who she is at this point in her life, and same thing for Rick Senior. That's it's what motivates him a lot. Like he's getting his personal motivations and his work motivations like kind of crossed a little bit,
Yeah.
and now he's like leaning towards the personal motivations because of how much his son's death hurt him, and like
Yeah. And he's also
now
always lying, saying like, "Oh, it's for the United States. It's for
yeah
the world. We need
he's
to
been
do
like
this. It's so important." It's like,
yeah man
dog, you just want to see that man in prison. Do you not remember that interrogation room scene just a couple episodes ago? Like you were
yeah 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 man yeah
that
but
knee to the face, bro.
oh
Oh my
god
gosh.
yes, it was bad.
It was
It was
bad.
bad.
It was bad. So yeah, that has been today's episode of the Sci-Fly Zone reviewing Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 6. We will be definitely releasing the reviews for the final 2 episodes of the season. If you stayed tuned this far, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. If you're into baseball, we're currently covering the Major League Baseball playoffs right now. Crazy stuff. It's been awesome, and we will continue coverage on that as well. So if you liked the video, please hit that like button, drop a comment. If you liked it, you can let us know. If you have any criticisms, let us know. If you have any topics you want us to talk about, let us know. We'll be happy to talk about it. But yeah, we hope to see you on the next episode. Have a good one.